I realized that my mission is to help guide people, but I'm not necessarily getting any messages.
It's not to say that you're disconnected. There is a reason the exact steps are not unfolding. And the reason is... Hey, welcome. If you're new, I'm Ken. I help spiritual entrepreneurs and practitioners who have already done the work embody their full intuitive clarity and power to complete the mission they know they came for. This video comes from one of our mission coaching events. Today's question is:
I help structure, systemize, and scale construction businesses. However, I'm publishing a book now. What I feel my mission is, I realized that my mission is to help guide people to reclaim their mental sovereignty. So I'm in the process of effectively trusting my intuition that this is my mission and owning this space in the run up to the publishing of the book. The only challenge I really have is what you had put in your emails, Ken, is in terms of that unconditional trust. And that part of joining Ken's course is that over these next 6 weeks that I get myself into that position to take the step that I believe I'm meant to fulfill my mission. And anytime I'm doing my reflections, I'm not necessarily getting any messages, but I'm calm. I'm taking that as a sign that I'm on the right path, and the messages will come through as I get closer to it. So I hope that gives you a good enough summary.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent summary. So it comes to building and obtaining a certain level of trust, right? And you even mentioned, I'm not really getting much messages specifically, for example, confirmation to say, hey, you're doing the right thing, and Spirit telling me, yeah, this is the marketing strategy I should have, etc. And often when we don't have a lot of this guidance, it's not to say we're even disconnected from it, but in many cases, especially in the case that I was also in, I had a great clarity of what I needed to do. Any more than that, I wasn't going to receive, except for the fact that I could feel the calm, or even you describe it as calm. I felt it more as in terms of, let's say, excitement, almost like you walk into a room and everyone's like, shh, 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 shh. He's here, don't tell him, shh, shh, shh. So I could feel the ecstatic energy of what was brewing, and it still does happen. Like there's also more brewing, and I have a good level of understanding what that is, but the exact steps are not unfolding. And the reason is, firstly, when there's no surprise, it kind of ruins the surprise, right? So if you're getting a present for Christmas, and let's say you do celebrate Christmas, and so you're receiving a gift, but you already know what's in the box, it's kind of diminished in the excitement of it, right? But when you don't know what's inside, then there's more anticipation, there's more experience. And so kind of sometimes knowing so much would also ruin the experience of it. But there's also something that's even far more fundamental and important, and that is trust. So you already touched on that. And the less intuitive guidance you receive, the more you have to actually practice the muscle of trust. And when you're moving into a mission, or in terms of, let's say, a certain impact that you need to create, it needs to come from such a place on unwavering trust that you need to be able to emanate, to guide others, because there are going to be difficult times. There are going to be times of uncertainty. There are going to be times where you're not sure. But because you are paving the way, you need to, first and foremost, the strongest, most important muscle that needs to be developed is literally trust. Because the more trust you have, the more, let's say, force in the direction you're moving toward you can have without the second guessing. And you're the person who should not have the second guessing, not having the imposter, not having the, am I doing it right or wrong, etc. And then there's another aspect where we need to embody that, but also there's no one way to do it. So it's going to happen. How it happens also doesn't actually matter that much. I'll give you a tangible example. I spent far too many hours, far too much time getting all hung up on, okay, what tools should I use for our community? What systems should I put in place for these courses, these projects, these things? There's so many things out there, and well, what's the right thing for me? But it didn't matter. And so there was no intuitive guidance on it. And when I look back, it didn't matter what I had chosen. it was all okay. It was all the right direction anyway. It was just what was being created, not how. And sometimes we get so hung up on the how that we actually create complexity and resistance in our direction. So it slows the direction. So those are the two most important concepts that I would say would be something that could kind of be more embodied. And that is first trust. And then second, feeling more of that calm. And so lean into that and continue again, practicing that trust and knowing that it doesn't really matter how I do it, just that I do. And there's going to be a whole bunch of roadblocks. I'm not going to know exactly how the puzzle's going to fit, but I will eventually have all the pieces. And so all I need to do is if I'm walking on the path, more of the path will reveal itself. If I'm trying to see what's ahead of the path, I'm not ever going to be able to see more of what's revealed because I'm actually staying stuck because I'm trying to see what's on the path before I walk the path. But it's like, hey, you just need to see what's right beneath your feet. Walk that path, because as you do, there's going to be more of that path revealing underneath your feet. You don't have to see through the mist ahead. And so that also level of allowing them to unfold as you're doing things, but then bringing along trust into that process is going to be the most pivotal thing that you can embody and bring with you, because that is such an important foundation, especially when it's pertaining to something of such great impact.
Yeah, that's amazing. The profoundness of your message. It's the ultimate trust now. Just get to it and it will all unfold. And I'm visualizing that things are going to happen. And then the universe should then present that back to me if I continue and I don't have that fear.
It's trusting the action you're taking. Because sometimes we're like, oh, let's trust that it will happen. I made that mistake for a little while where I was very clear on the vision that I wanted to create and what needed to happen. And was like, okay, complete surrender and allow and trust all that to happen. And it's like, okay, well, it's not happening. Well, you also got to do it. You got to trust the action that you're also taking. Trust walking the path. You can't look at the path and be like, cool, I'm on the right path. Yeah, you are, but you're not moving. So, take a step, fella. There's so much self-development and even spiritual enlightenment content out there, and it's all little pieces of the puzzle. And sometimes we kind of think, okay, what is surrender? Oh, it means giving up. No, two things can be true, but it doesn't mean they coincide. As long as you're remaining in that unwavering trust, but taking the action, you're good. Because there are going to be situations where things are not really going to go completely right. And if you weren't bringing that full trust with you, it would be like, oh, crap, it's not working. I'm doing something wrong. And it just means perhaps it's timing, perhaps there's more that will reveal, or perhaps this mistake or learning that you're experiencing regarding that specific thing is just a skill set or a tool that you're gaining along the way so that you can continue to pave the way ahead. Because even, for example, the mission, the impact that I wanted to create was essentially having everyone embody their own power, right? It wasn't necessarily how to be a businessman doing that, but that is something that was also going to be a skill learned along the way. And now when teaching other people also what I had done, even those mistakes are so valuable to share with them because they can say, okay, I can fast track my journey of not just embodying my power, but also embodying my mission, doing the thing, right? But I have also some frame of reference or steps to even follow, right? Because that person resonates more with me because they're not just in business, they're in heart-centric business. And so that looks a little different. And so there's more of also a framework for them. But all of that mistakes, all of that things that weren't working as they should have was all important for that, let's say, story that I share and for other people to learn from that. And it wasn't necessarily me doing anything right or wrong, but at the same time, those different aspects were also helping me embody even more trust, because the more trust I had, even in the face of things not going right, for instance, the more I was truly embodying that energy, the more impact I was actually creating and the more I was tapping into that unconditional sense of connection and also mission. And that's what the, let's say, later steps of that journey looks like and where you're at pretty much now. So good job. Hey, it's me again. If you have any questions or thoughts, share them in the comments section down below, and I'll be happy to connect. And if you're looking for more guidance on your soul mission journey, it's by no means coincidence. Click on this video above. And if you're still watching this, then I'm certain you'll love joining our events. We have Q&As, live channelings, coaching, meditations, and so much more. The link is down below. I look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, bye.